Hello everyone, this is Tim, and this is a late night idea that I had, and I just wanted to get it on film. Trying to hide out in the garage here, so I don't wake anybody up. But let's say that you had four different settings that you wanted to explore. Why not put them all in the same campaign? Let's say that you had four different systems, perhaps the system that comes with the setting or not. Maybe they're just four systems that you want to try out or four of your favorite systems. And maybe you want the same set of characters to go from one setting to the other. So why not put them all together? Generate four characters that are roughly the same in four different systems. It's a little bit of work, and you might not want to play a very deadly game because, that if you kill a character, you're actually killing four. So, maybe something like 5th edition, it's less deadly. Something that has a little bit of a like a superhero vibe, or second chances, or hero points, or fate points, something like that that can give the characters a little bit more of an edge. But let's say that these characters can go from one setting to the other, but it's not by choice. They flip from one to the other uncontrollably. Perhaps there's a reason, and maybe that is the main gist of the campaign. Why are we going from one place to another? You can consider like a parallel dimension. Why are we flipping from one dimension to another? And that can be the main quest, to find out why they're different, and also maybe why are they flipping together. And you can even have a lot of fun with that. Maybe that you all flip, but you're not right next to each other. Maybe it's imperfect. Maybe you can come up with some sort of random chance sort of dice roll to see how far away they are from each other whenever they go into these new places, new dimensions. Maybe there's a random chance to figure out when they flip. But yeah, it's an idea that I had, and I was kind of wondering, what settings and systems people would want to use for this idea. Now, I consider this as a one shot, but I think this is actually more of a campaign idea, just constantly flipping from one place to the other. And you could really have some fun here with genre as well. Maybe you want to mix Changeling the Lost, Traveler, Dungeons and Dragons, and World of Darkness. Maybe, the same character, in quotes, is in those four different places. So you have to have a really good idea of what sort of central concept you have for your character, what their personality is like, what their quirks are, what their flaws are, so that you can translate it from one system to another fairly easily. As long as you have that main idea in your head of what those characters are like, it shouldn't be too hard to translate them from one system to another. Now the trick is that if you use very different systems, they're going to be like different characters. But I think the cool thing is that you're going to try as a player to role play those characters as the same person, the same memories, the same family, but and that could be different too. Maybe these characters in these different settings have different families. Maybe, it's sort of like you're bouncing into someone else's life, but it's just a different version of yourself, a different parallel, uh, just reality that this other person that is you, sort of, is there. So this could have like a little bit of a Michael Moorcock, the Eternal Champion sort of vibe to it, where it's the same character but it's in different incarnations. So maybe you could use that word. You have four incarnations of the same character, and they're going to have differences. And hopefully, the differences aren't too great, but that might be fun to explore as well. That you can be greatly different people and yet have the same core. You could say it's the maybe the soul or the spirit, the same ego, the intellect. However you want to look at that, and you could go from a very high supernatural type setting to one that has none at all. More of like a sci-fi, hard science sort of setting. So that might be something that's interesting too, to go into those concepts of, is it the soul? Is it the intellect? Is there a consciousness or reason behind this, or is it just pure random chaos and chance, and they are just the unlucky ones of some sort of curse or uh, just the cosmos, you know, playing dice. God doesn't play dice like Einstein, but maybe he does. Uh, so yeah, that random element can be in there. That chaotic nature. What's cool about this concept, I think, is that I think everyone who watches this video and has an idea could really have a very unique campaign depending on what systems they picked, what settings they picked, and what the characters were like. So there's a lot of variables here, and it would take a considerable amount of work because a GM would have to know how to run 4 different systems and run them pretty well. Have them have them in the back of your head. Know them like the back of your hand. So okay, let's just say that I'm going to do this. Okay, so let me pick 4 settings just off the top of my head. So we're going to go with Changeling the Lost, New World of Darkness. That's one. Tekkamol is the setting. Empire of the Petal Throne is going to be my system. And let me see here. Talislanta. We'll just use the Talislanta system to keep it easy. And let me think here. Something fun. And Dune. I'm going to go with the Dune setting. And for a system, that might be a little bit tricky. There is the system that I have. I believe it's a D6 system. I have a copy of it. It's actually for Dune, but I don't actually know it very well. So maybe this is my exception where I'm going to pick a different system. Maybe I'll just go with Open D6 or Mini D6 for that and just try to make it work. So yeah, if you were going to do this, what 4 settings would you use? What 4 settings or what 4 systems would you pick? And how would you go about doing this? I'd be interested to hear comments, responses, whatever you want to do. All right, thanks, and have a good night, morning, whatever. Talk to you later.